Hey, Dad, can I ask you a question?
Go to it.
All right, Dad, another week here on the podcast. Going to start off with a question because that's the name of the game. It's things you should ask your dad, not your son, right?
Sure. I have questions for you also.
Sure.
Not today necessarily, but just in general.
All right, so this one I actually thought of and crafted quite well. So I want you to think about it for a second. What is one belief that has changed in your mind over time?
One belief that has changed in my mind over time.
It could be about people, politically, about entertainment, about parenting, about music. But I would love to know, what is something that has changed, a belief, an opinion that has changed over time for you?
Wow. I'm not growing all that much these days. So, what belief? I don't know if this is so much a belief as it is just a something that happened as I got older. I kind of ran with it. I don't know if it's a belief though. When I was your age, up until the time that you kids were about 14 years old,
Mm-hmm.
I was very social.
Social butterfly, yeah.
Yeah, I was very social. I actually, when your sister was home, she and your mother were talking about how I knew all these people that mom is great friends with.
Yeah.
And Ryan was in shock that I knew these people since like the 7th and 8th grade.
Right.
Because I guess the Long Island community, and again, this isn't a belief.
It's okay. No, but I like where this is going. Doesn't need to be a belief.
The Long Island community is very tight, especially that Jewish Long Island community. And, my kids for the last 10 years, definitely the last 5 since the pandemic started, they've really seen me go on my bike rides with a few friends and then just come home, sit on the couch. I don't go out at night. I want to be in bed super early. And that might have came with age, but it also came with, I think it also happened because I saw too much drama going on with certain families and stuff that felt like I was getting too old for that shit. And I just wanted to really stay away from it. So I don't want to say that I become antisocial. I'm not. I pick and choose who I hang out with.
Yeah.
I have very distinct people who I'm willing to hang out with. I spend a lot of time at work, as you know.
Yeah.
And I spend a fair amount of time on the bike.
Totally.
So I think when I'm not doing those two things, unfortunately, but that's okay because that's how I want it. It's by design.
Yeah.
I just want to be alone.
There's something to be said about,
because there's no drama.
There's something to be said about being alone. There's something to be said about being. It's actually, it shows a great sign of independence and confidence as well. Which there's actually studies do show that doing things alone, and whether that's dining alone, bike riding alone, whatever you might do alone, like there's a lot of confidence in that. It's not a lot of people can be content doing that and be happy doing that, being your own best friend.
Yeah, there are people in my life who always need to be around other people, and I can't handle that anymore. And it's funny. It's really by design. I really choose. That's why I'm not on Facebook. I am on Instagram. Everyone who's listening can see me more on Instagram these days, obviously. Yeah. But it's just I don't really enjoy sitting around just bullshitting with a bunch of people, especially if those bunch of people aren't my close friends. And I just about have zero interest.
Yeah, and that's a part of your life that could get very interesting though, as you get, into the next phase of your life, because you're not at that age where like you're not a grandparent yet. You're not
No,
like old per se, you're still, there's plenty of parts of you physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually that radiate youth, so I
I hope
wonder.
so.
Well, no, it does. I mean, bike riding, like that's
Yeah.
very youthful. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're 80 years old doing it or
Yeah.
10 years old doing it. It's a very youthful thing. It's like, it's just, it's like riding around in the cul-de-sac, It's like, my point in saying all this is I'm curious to see, as like your son, what that sort of looks like as you enter that next phase of your life. Like I would hope that doesn't lead to depression, because like right now you are very content. Like you said, it is by design. You
Yeah.
like to spend time alone, and that's cool. And you sound really happy doing that. My fear is like, what if it does get to a point where you're like, well, okay,
Where are
what?
they?
Yeah, where are?
It's funny you say that because I frequently hear about, people getting older in their 70s and 80s. And, some of the best things you can do is not retire, because supposedly it's not healthy. I mean, anyone would love to have the money to retire, but
Sure.
it's not a good idea to just
Seems
stop
boring.
working.
Seems
Yeah, well,
boring.
boring supposedly will kill you. And also to stay social and active.
Yeah.
And I will stay active. I promise you, I promise mom. The social part, I will get through my activities.
Yeah.
I'm working at Helen Cycles or doing anything else, but my activities will keep me social, because I will be hopefully riding with those people, and we all just age together.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes I think about like kind of like, yeah, like what about on a Saturday night? Maybe I should be with people socializing. And I will say this, when I do end up socializing, I have to admit that, like, we went to, we mentioned I went to that Grateful Dead cover band,
Yeah.
with Jill and Eric. Shout out Jill and Eric. And you know what? It was amazing. It was amazing because it was social, not because it
Right.
was fantastic Grateful Dead, a cover band.
Right.
And it was. And, and then I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, that would be nice to do more often. And then I think to myself, but the couch is really nice also.
The couch is nice, but I see a lot of people in my immediate life,
Yeah.
and these are family members, friends. It's not like, again, you sound very happy. You sound very content, and like you said, by design, but like you should make like an effort, like, and I know it's the last thing you probably want to do after work on a Saturday, but like,
Yeah.
but make it convenient for you. Like maybe hit up a friend and say, "Hey, on the way home,
Yeah.
you want to stop and get dinner." And that's just a
It's
good 1 hour social interaction.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's funny. I haven't seen a particular friend in a couple of months now. He's been traveling. Just life gets in the way. He lives a mile from the house, and we spoke to each other the other day. And we're like, "Let's do dinner Wednesday night." And I said, "I got to do the podcast with Max."
So
And
why
then
can't you go after?
I just canceled on him because I
What?
want to be alone. Your mother announced that she's going out to play pickleball. And
Mm.
and I just like, you know what? I'm wrecked from my bike ride for some reason. I don't know why, but I did a lot of climbing today, so I'm just wrecked, and I just want to get high and sit on the couch. And just,
I get it, but like there's certain things you
I
just got
know.
to push through. Like that
No,
next
yeah, you're
time,
right.
if
You're
there is a
right.
next time with this friend, because he might be
Let's
very devastated.
we switched it to Tuesday. We're good. I made a plan for Tuesday, and I will
But
say,
next
I know.
recording, next
Yeah,
episode, on the 40th episode of Things You Should Ask Your Dad, I'm
yeah.
going to ask, did you go?
Okay.
And we're going to
All right.
see if you actually went through with it.
No, I'll
Can
go.
you
I go.
can you believe, by the way, like I would actually love to hear your thoughts on an American president. I don't even know why I said American. Just a world leader. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they're the supreme leader, president, prime minister.
Mm, mm.
What are your immediate thoughts on the person running this country dropping an F bomb on live television?
Well, my thoughts is okay. So that's a good question. You know what? I don't want to hear it from an American president, but I will say this: that there is something extremely satisfying about that.
Like relatable.
Relatable, because I have a big fucking mouth also, and
There you
clearly he
go.
does. But yeah, I don't want to hear it from him. But for him to say what Israel and Iran don't know what the fuck they're doing, it's pretty funny. You just don't want to hear it, in the Oval Office or on the White House lawn. I mean,
I mean,
it's not appropriate. It's really not.
that's what it is. It's just
But
not
it's
appropriate.
not appropriate. I mean, because at the end of the day, whether we like him or not, a
Right.
lot of people do look up to him, and a lot of kids do look up to him.
You think
Whatever.
children out there look up to him?
Yes, 100% they look up to him.
Children?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll tell you, half the country loves what he said, because half the country's just like him in that sense. Listen, Mags, like if I saw Trump, like, if I saw Trump in the bar, like I'd get along with him great.
You know
I
what I
really
always,
would.
you know what I
Really
thought
would.
that I thought was like really interesting is like, again, disclaimer, we're not Trump people, but I find it funny that like the people that were so outraged by his comment, like if Obama
Oh,
or Biden had said that,
they would have impeached him over that.
well, no, I'm just saying, would the people who were like, how dare
Yes.
a president speak that way, would those same people be saying that? I don't think so.
No, they wouldn't be.
Right.
They'd be going after them. I mean, they would want to impeach those
No,
guys.
no. I'm saying that like let's say you're like let's say you went on Instagram and were like, I
Yeah.
can't believe that Trump would speak this way, blah 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
And let's, and being that you voted for Obama and that, if Obama had said that, would you have been that same person to go on social media and be like, I can't believe Obama said that? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a type
no,
of
and I didn't go on
hypocrisy here.
social media. I didn't go on social media saying Trump shouldn't talk like this. Like I didn't.
I'm just a generalization, an
Yeah.
example.
No, you're
I'm
right.
just saying, like,
Yeah.
I think the same people who were outraged by what he said wouldn't be outraged if Obama said it or Biden had said it.
Well, that's the woke left.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Listen, he says a lot of things, and it hardly made any media, which I find to be very interesting. Like I saw it on social media, but
Yeah.
I didn't see anything on the news about it.
Yeah.
Like nothing. And it's just fascinating because, again, had Biden or Obama, and I don't know why we have to go back to Obama. It's almost a decade ago, but like,
Well, just because he's
Biden
one of the
said
last
anything
two.
like that on an open mic and like not a press conference, but being asked questions as he's going on a helicopter, like the media would have freaked out, like, and the MAGAs would have freaked out.
Oh yeah, the
and the
Trump
Republicans
supporters
would have freaked out.
the Trump supporters and the Republicans, they would have been like, how dare he speak that way? I can't believe. And did you see that now I think it was a Republican senator or something wants to give Trump a Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Like,
yeah.
It makes my head spin. Okay, I actually have
another senator today said that we should call him Daddy Trump. It's like, what?
Absolutely not. What the fuck is that? Anyways, this is a more fun conversation I wanted to have with you. So I was thinking, if you were to be stranded on an island, we were talking a little bit about COVID last episode, and I honestly envision like COVID as like this island almost. I mean, we had everything we could have needed and wanted, thankfully. But let's say you were on a deserted island, middle of the ocean, and you could only bring 3 things with you. And like, let's not take into account that you would need food and water to survive. Like, let's just pretend that's there and that just 3 things.
Sounds like a survivor thing. So I have my food and I have my water.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like, what are 3? Like, it's almost like, what are just 3 things you can't live without? What are 3 things Adam, my dad, can't live without?
This episode is sponsored by Helen Cycles, taking good care of people and their bikes since 1936. Serving Southern California with locations in Santa Monica and Manhattan Beach, with brands like Trek, Santa Cruz, Pinarello, and Colnago. We'll see you on the bike.
I would say, is there electricity on the island?
Why? Because you're going to say your CPAP?
Well, I mean, I would need my CPAP, but I love
Yeah.
my iPad. I mean, will I
You can
have
add,
internet
just
service? I have
three
internet
things.
service. Yeah. I
It's a
mean,
hypothetical.
I love my iPad.
Yep.
Need that. And I would definitely need a razor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna grow a big heavy beard. I can't handle that.
No.
The itchiness would drive me crazy.
No.
And then the other thing is, I'd probably want you there
Oh, that's sweet of you.
because I can talk to you. And then I know it's again hypocritical, like about my alone time that we just mentioned, but
Right.
you and me, we understand each other.
For sure.
I know we piss each other off at times.
No doubt.
And I know that you would give me my space when I need it because
Yeah.
you did that. And I thank you for that because, I would walk into this house sometimes and be like, I would make a big announcement. I just want to be left alone. And I know no one would bother me for hours.
Yeah. I'd just be like, all right, I'm just going to continue playing the video game
exactly.
I've been playing for the last 4 hours.
I would sit in my room and just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad to come out of hiding and cook some dinner for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
what's funny is when you would make those announcements, I'd then like kind of stir because I'm like, it was during the days where I was smoking, right? So I'd be like, well, shit, I've already smoked. I can't drive. And if he's not going to come out of his room, like I'm going to starve. What am I going to eat?
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
So
you're definitely you're in the top 3 without a doubt, because I can also, I can talk to you about anything, it's like, I sent you a DM today about,
sorry,
wrestling.
did you just lick your?
No, there's dirt on the table.
So you went and cleaned it.
And then I cleaned it.
Silly.
I sent you a DM about Friday night SmackDown wrestling at the Hudson Yards.
Yeah, at Hudson Yards.
Yeah, and I don't have anyone to really talk to about wrestling with. I mean, I can talk to Glenn about wrestling.
It's just you.
More old school wrestling, but it's really just you. And after I sent it, I thought to myself, man, what if he goes there? And then he gets a whole new group of friends he can talk wrestling with. Will I be on the outs?
No, you wouldn't be on the outs, but that's also
it's just where my fucking brain went. That's all. What can I tell you?
Well, that's also
stupid.
I feel like that's a totally separate, conversation to be had because, yeah, I feel like that kind of is. It's counterproductive to what you just said. You like to be alone, but then you would be like kind of freaked out if you couldn't talk to me about.
Well, that's a particular topic I enjoy talking to you about.
It's true. And they got problems because they
got big problems.
They shut down over in Saudi Arabia and Iran and one other. Oh, what was it? Qatar. They canceled all commercial airlines coming in and out of those countries and
we're talking about WWE right now.
Yeah, but I'm saying WWE is meant to go to Saudi Arabia. They can't. There's no word. No.
And I heard
canceled. It is not been canceled. Let's not spread false rumors. That is speaking in innuendo. There's no cancellation yet.
I thought it was canceled. And that some of the wrestlers were stuck there.
No, the no decision has been made.
Okay.
And I mean, look, the show is on Saturday. They actually have SmackDown on Friday from Saudi Arabia as well this year. So interesting. What's going to happen in the next 48 hours? I mean, have they lifted that travel ban yet?
I have no idea. But isn't it interesting how we do the bunker buster and Trump is like, everyone cease fire, shut the fuck up. JD Vance comes on and says, we bombed their nuclear facility. We're not interested in the Iranian people, which is actually a great thing to say. We're not interested in war. We're interested in shutting them down.
Well, he didn't say that. He said he didn't say that. He said we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with their nuclear.
Right. So,
nuclear plan. The word war is still being thrown around, though. It's important to mention.
Well, there's also, yeah, okay. So, but I think it's interesting how all that has really quieted down in the last 48 hours.
Because he said
fascinating. Fuck. This is so fascinating.
Because Trump said fuck?
No, nobody's talking about that. Nobody gives a shit about that. It's just amazing to me the news cycle, how it just changes so quickly. And tell you the truth, I
Wild.
mean, I don't even know what we're on right now. I just read today that, which is kind of scary in itself, that the Trump administration is pulling the FBI away from the immigration stuff because now they're concerned with counterterrorism. So what are they? What are they hearing? You know, about
Yeah.
anything? I don't know, but like it's just fascinating to me how it's just like nobody's like they're talking more about did we or did we not really destroy the bunkers, and Trump is saying we obliterated them, and people in his administration are like we did not obliterate them, we only set them back 3 or 6 months, and so I don't know, I have no idea. I was yeah, I don't want to say where I was looking at it, but I was looking at the news the other day, and CNN. I was switching back between CNN and Fox, and on the internet, and Fox was saying how we obliterated, the bunkers, and CNN was saying how we didn't, and
Right.
Trump is just saying that, and we only set them back like 3 6 months. And so I just want to say to my buddy Carrie out there that we are seeing two completely different news all the time.
Well, you've said that about Carrie. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
I love you, Carrie.
I want to just address the fact that I this Saturday am going to see Goose at Madison Square Garden.
Jealous.
Waited so long for this show, but I wanted to actually talk about something that I've just needed someone to talk to about, which is, and not by design actually, but the first, what would have been the first day of camp, first night of camp, is the night of the Goose show. So that's a really great, distraction. But something I'm already kind of struggling with is this is the first time in 13 years, 13 years of my life, I've never known pretty much what it's like to not spend a summer outside in nature. Like setting aside camp, like sure, camp, yes, but outside in nature, around people from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different countries. And I'm struggling. I am. It's
Right.
yeah, just like silently struggling,
Yeah.
Um my
Not really
girlfriend,
something most people want to hear you complain about. You know what I'm saying? Like your
yeah,
struggle, but it's real. I get it.
it's
And
very real. Damaris,
unfortunately, it's gonna fade eventually. It
yeah,
just
well,
does.
maybe,
Until you buy a camp.
maybe though, because I mean, I love you, but you had a very different camp experience, and mine is very similar to the one my mother had, and you see how much she still loves it, and it's never faded from her. And so like, and Damaris, she experienced this last summer. Was her first summer not there.
How's she doing this summer?
Still struggling, but like not as much. But
Not
again,
as much.
it's still very different. Like she didn't grow up
Right.
there. Her friends, for the most part, like aren't still there. I have a lot of friends that are still there, and
Mhm.
I mean, and she knows this. Like she has great relationships, but the relationships are different. And yeah, I'm just like struggling. It's more so the outdoor being the way I already put it, which is just being outdoors all day long, um, being with just a bunch of amazing people from all different walks of life,
Yeah.
and I don't know how I'll find something similar to that, and yeah, until I own my own camp one day. So
Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I definitely appreciate what you're saying, Max. It's just, I'm going to be who I am with this. It's like, welcome to adulting. It's like, yeah, the change. Sometimes there's change that goes on in your life that, like, wow, this doesn't really feel good, but it has to happen no matter what.
yeah,
And but I sympathize with you without a doubt.
there's some things to remember, which is like it's only 6 weeks of my life. I know what they know, which is it goes by quicker and quicker every year, whether I'm there or not.
As you get
Um,
older,
so if
it
that
goes
means
by
that
quicker and quicker.
exactly, so if that means that that's how I'm like coping with it, which is just knowing that it's going to go by really quickly. I'm also finding things to do on the weekends, like trying to make my weekends super occupied, because like during the week, it's going to suck no matter what. Even though I really like work, I'm not there. So like it's that part's just going to be different. But like as long as I'm distracted on the weekends, and like this weekend I got a lot of great stuff planned, and next weekend is the 4th of July, so a lot of great stuff planned there already. Can you believe
4th of
that?
July. Oh my God. Oh, that
I
means my
know.
wedding anniversary is coming up.
Yeah, which you should comment below, what should dad get mom for a big anniversary? It's
You
a big
know,
one.
is it a big one?
Yeah, you need to do some
No,
research.
it's not a big one. No, it's 26 years. It's not a big
Every year is a big one.
You know what? I'll tell you something. I just got her a shower.
Oh, wait, that's breaking news. Dun 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 dun. You fixed the shower?
I fixed the shower.
Wow. Tell the viewers. Tell the viewers.
The shower's been broken for 2 years. I was trying to replace parts in it,
Right.
and I was successful with it, but it was plastic going up against metal, and the plastic stripped. $150, probably 6 or 7 times. I had plumbers come in and fix it. I had handymen come in and fix it. I fixed it a few times myself. It would work for a week, and it got stripped again. And I finally said, "Man,
enough is enough.
Spend the money." And $2,000 later,
whoa,
which, is hey, I'll admit it, not easy to come by. With a daughter in college, but I got it fixed, and I took a shower today in my big shower.
Wow.
I didn't have to stand in a little coffin,
right?
To shower. And, it was quite delightful, Max. Quite delightful. It was a good time. Not that good a time, but it was great.
No, but there are certain things that money can't buy.
Money bought that one, that's for sure. And you know what? I'm not really complaining, because we have 3 other showers, and I have an outdoor shower, which I really enjoy using. And
whoa! So you have 4 showers.
We have 4 showers. So I was down to 3 showers for 2 years.
Wow.
I know life is terrible.
Does that
awful,
scream white privilege or what?
You know what? I get it. For anyone listening, the outdoor shower is illegal, but whatever. You don't know my address.
You don't know the address yet. So
no. I want some privacy. I want some privacy in my life.
If there's a will, there's a way. Dad, before we go, I'd love for you to ask me a question, because you said you have a lot you want to ask me. So I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
yeah, you put me on the spot. So I have a question. Have you heard about the Trump administration's new Alcatraz?
Oh, we're back on Trump.
Yeah.
Can we not talk about?
Did you read about, like?
I heard that they're trying to revamp it, like every fucking movie in Hollywood. So go ahead. Different question. Not Trump related.
All right. Well, okay. So you know what? What are your thoughts on about a sequel to Social Network, with Aaron Sorkin writing and Aaron Sorkin directing? Hoping Jesse Eisenberg plays the role still. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna eat my words heavily from last week, right? Because I will stand by the fact that while I don't agree and don't like that, there's just nothing original. They cannot, for the life of them. Hollywood is like just trying to squeeze every little bit out of every single franchise they can, and I made it clear last week I don't enjoy that. However, Social Network is one of my all-time favorite movies.
And there's a lot more to the story now.
A lot more to the story. A lot has happened since the inception of Facebook. A lot has happened since even the 5 years after the, creation of Facebook. And that's kind of what the movie, if you haven't seen it, The Social Network, David Fincher, Aaron Sorkin, Jesse Eisenberg, it really does do a great job taking you through those first few years of Facebook. But yeah, to your point, they're a lot bigger. It's a lot different than what it was. The world has changed around us. Setting aside social media,
I think a lot of the world has changed because of Facebook.
Yeah, a lot of the world's changed because of social media, and yeah, of course, Facebook leading the charge there.
Everybody I know hates Facebook, but everybody's on it.
But the only thing I would that would make me okay with this proposed sequel that I guess is happening now. A few things need to happen. One, if Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo Saverin and Sean Parker are as important to the rest of the story as they are to the beginning of the story, that is Facebook, Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake all have to return. All have to return. Otherwise,
I don't know how important they are to Facebook, after
Saverin's still a part of the company. And
he's on the masthead.
Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Zuckerberg, of course, still very much involved. But there's been a lot of different players that have come into the fold, and of course, they're now Meta, so they got Instagram, they got WhatsApp, they got Threads. Which is probably missing something, but I think so. It'll be interesting to see how Aaron Sorkin, who's a great writer and director, not gonna. I think the script and the project is in very good hands. I just, again, that's a movie I really wish went untouched. But I don't need a sequel.
Well, I think there's almost a bigger story to be told now. How Facebook changed the world. It just did. I mean, in the movie, you don't really see that how Facebook changed the world. Really has.
It's true.
It really has.
Well, to be continued, Dad.
Of course.
Every week, love doing this, but next week is the 40th episode. We got to do something big. We got to figure this out. So we're gonna have to talk off camera about this.
Okay.
But yeah, tell the people what they got to do.
Don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends, and leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Sure.
Leave a comment.
Say something. Say something. Interact with us.
Yeah. And I just want to shout out to GV, who we were supposed to have a guest today, and he canceled. I think he's scared to be on the podcast.
Really? No.
Nah, we're excited with him.
We're excited to have him in the future.
Yes.
Make sure to follow us at Things You Should Ask Your Dad on Instagram. Lots of clips coming out from the pod. So if you haven't made it this far and you just want to catch some clips, go over to our Instagram. We appreciate all the love. So, Dad, I love you.
Love you all.
But I love you.
And I love you.